freaked out very, very badly. Freaked out on acid. I lived for
All right, here's a little trip report from my first, I guess it's called blasting off experience with DMT. Now, I've tried it a couple times before, but apparently I didn't do it correctly, or I didn't do enough, or the one time I did blast off, I think I was just really drunk, and I just basically passed out. But this time, I planned it ahead, sober-ish, relatively, mainly, and yeah, man, that is fucking intense. Basically, I did the sandwich technique, and thank you for the person that hooked me up with that. I'm sure he'll catch wind of this, and thank you. That was fucking awesome. And yeah, not going to give any shout outs or mention any names because, well, he may not want that known. But anyway, yeah, so basically I did the sandwich technique, just a regular pipe, little glass pipe like you'd smoke weed out of, $10 pipe I bought at the head store. Put some tobacco in there, put a decent amount of DMT on there. Don't know how much, didn't weigh it out. I don't know. I don't know. I would guess probably going by weight on other powders, I would say probably about maybe 0.3, 0.2, 0.3, right around there. That's what I would guess, powder weight. Assuming it weighs the same as the other powders. Anyway, put that on there, and then I put another layer of tobacco on top. So it sandwiched it in the middle. I took a torch, like a, where is it? No, I don't even have it. Basically like a, butane torch, and just like went over the top of it real quickly, kind of sucked it a little bit, just till the coals kind of burned down a little bit. Then I just let it set for a little bit, and then I did it again, because apparently you're supposed to melt it into it, so that's kind of how we did other drugs. But anyway, and then anyway, I took a big hit. I didn't light the fire directly to it, just like kind of singed it above, on top. And just so the flame would just be like just a little bit above the tobacco, and it would ignite it. Ignited it, and then it would alternate right. And I took a big hit. It had a carb on the side, just like Darth Vader. No, not like that. It's like and I held it as long as I could. And that first one, it got me. I was like, whoa, and I could feel like, and I was like this humming, like. And then I did it again, because I remember to keep doing it, right? Because eventually you're going to drop this, right? So I did it, did another one, and when I went to touch it, I didn't even need to, because it was still hot. So I just took another big hit, held it in, and in between hits, when I exhaled, I didn't catch my breath again. I just immediately took another hit. So I didn't bother to catch my breath. My breath was the other hit. And on my third one, I think it was my third one, that's when shit got real. It started to get real at first, but then it got really real. Where I was looking at my hands, and started to explain my hands, and I was holding the torch in one hand and the pipe in the other. And I'm looking at it, contemplating if I can do another one. And all of a sudden, I couldn't see my hands. I couldn't see my hands. And I couldn't see the torch. It was like these blobs of color, kind of like bricks, going up through my hands and up into my forearms. But also when I looked over into the peripheral, I was in my car, by the way. That's just where I had to do it. And anyway, my dashboard was all absorbing into one. And I put the pipe down, because I kind of fumbled over there and put it down, because I couldn't tell what was the pipe and what was the torch and what was my hand. Good way to catch yourself on fire and be like fucking Richard Pryor. What? No, I didn't say that. But so yeah, put it down. And I had a place set aside, knowing this was going to happen by watching people's videos and reading the shit. And I just put it down, bam, bam. I just let my breath out, and then closed my eyes, because at that point I was my eyes were open. It was just all colors and kind of shifts like that. And as soon as I closed my eyes, it was fuck. See, by the way, I just did this 30 minutes ago, so I think the residuals might still be there, but I'm trying to get this out as fast as I can, so I don't forget the details. Closed the eyes, and I felt this this light was pulling from behind me, and it came over here in front of me, and it was like a tunnel. But one tunnel turned into 2 or 3, and it's kind of hard to explain. If there's one, it would like another one would break off of it, and then another one would break off of it, and they were like kind of going like this motion, right? But they're like, so they're kind of like legs, like arms from the main one, and they just kind of kept going around. And I saw one, and inside each tunnel had individual streamers of, I don't know what you would call them, like ribbons, I guess, right? Ribbons. And they had like symbols on them, but I don't know what the symbols were. At first I thought they were like playing cards, like spades, diamonds, jacks, or clubs, whatever. That's what I thought it was at first, because these are, by the way, these are vivid hallucinations. These aren't like acid or shrooms. I mean, even on 30 hits, I didn't hallucinate this hard, this vivid. I mean, the hallucinations were hard, but they were different. But these are like real hallucinations, like hard hallucinations, not like peripheral shit, not tracers, not shit out of the corner of your eyes. Like, this is hard. And now you gotta remember, by this point, my eyes are closed and I'm semi-conscious, right? I barely know where I am anymore, and I barely know who I am. And I'm just trying to focus on these visuals and these streamers, I guess, these tunnels and these streams of how do you describe it? Like lights, but they're kind of bricks. I don't know. Well, these little symbols, they weren't card playing symbols. They were like different types of symbols. I don't know what they were. They were like hieroglyphic type symbols. I don't know what they were. Nothing that I've seen before. I mean, nothing that stuck out as being significant, but at the same time I took note of it because I was like, never seen that. So the parts of my brain were like still firing, like still trying to analyze this. So I must have not been like all the way down the rabbit hole yet. Well, here's where it got weird, as if that's not already weird, right? Here's where it gets weird for me. Okay, being in my car was a bad idea because I'm in a parking garage. Now it's locked, right? But anybody can come, not anybody, but people who live here can come and go when they want. So I think that wouldn't let me relax a little bit. And also I live next to a hospital. So it's very common to hear sirens and helicopters, right? And I'm going to have to go back and watch it. Oh, by the way, I did film myself this whole time. I'm going to have to go back and watch it to see if this was in my head or if it was actually, I'm pretty sure it was actually happening. I heard these sirens, like ambulance sirens and helicopters, which is not uncommon, right? It probably was real. I'll have to go back and check. But it made me kind of paranoid, right? But at the same time, I almost had like a muscle paralysis where I was like, I guess I was half asleep or something, where you know how like when you're sleeping, then you're like wake, but you're still sleeping, and you kind of know you're sleeping, and you kind of know you're dreaming, but you're not. It's kind of like a lucid dreaming type thing. It's kind of, but I couldn't really move. And I was worried that like somebody's gonna come and like, you know, fuck with me. And I thought the sirens, it sounded like they were like right there, and I know they weren't. There's no way they could be right there, right? But it sounded like they were like right behind me, and that made me kind of paranoid. And then I was like thinking to myself, should I snap out of it? But then all of a sudden, this weird thing. There was like in one of these tunnel things. It was like over here. It was a voice. That was weird too, because I've never heard. Well, I had heard voices, but not quite like this. It was more like in a dream, where it was like a real voice. It wasn't like kind of like an echo or your mind fucking with you. It was over here, and it says, "We meet again," right? And he's like, "Follow me," right? I'm not even shitting you. These are like harder hallucinations than the 30 hits. Like 30 hits had certain aspects of that, but not quite like this. And at this point, I don't know if my eyes are open. I don't know if I'm dreaming. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like I forgot kind of temporarily where I was. And this thing had a hand, and it goes over here, and then it had like this finger. And it went into my ear, and it's like pulling me into it, right? Here's the thing, is it was painful. And this kind of scared me because I actually felt pain inside of my head, like when you were a kid and you had an earache, you know, or like a swimmer's earache, you know? It was like that, but instantly. And it was like over here. And it said something to the effect of like, I know this doesn't make any sense, but it said something like, this isn't deja vu, this is happening. And I know that statement doesn't make any sense. This isn't deja vu, which means, you know, we all know what that means. But yeah, so this isn't deja vu, this is happening. And it was pulling me by the ear through one of these tunnels, trying to get me to come down that one, because I was looking at another one. And then the pain started like to hurt. And then I kind of got scared and paranoid, and that pain like kind of got me to the point where I could snap out of it a little bit. So I was having a hard time. Like at that point, I was trying to kind of like pull out. And so it was mainly the sirens. It wasn't so much the finger thing. It was the sirens that would trip me out. Next time I'm going to plan a little bit better. But I was able to kind of snap out of it. But when I opened my eyes though, and I watched part of this video. I could see myself. I didn't know where I was, so I was looking around like this in the video. Like I was like lost. Like I was trying to figure out where the fuck I was. And I remember looking, and the same shit happened. It was like all these like bricks of colors and shit were like stacking on my dashboard. And then I look over here, and then it'd be on the window. It was like still like kind of like in this weird Alice in Wonderland type dream thing. And that slowly dissipated and wore off, you know, and I figured out where I was and what happened, you know. But it was like for about 10 seconds when I opened my eyes, I didn't really know where I was. I kind of knew who I was. I wasn't quite sure what happened for about 10 seconds. And then I like slowly came back and like, oh, okay, I just did the DMT. Okay, that's a... Oh, there's my phone recording me. Okay. Looked around. Okay, I don't see any cops, you know. And then I just sat there, and that was a really cool part too. That was when I was actually conscious, to have these visuals wear off, because they were like really intense still, and I could like look around, and it was like almost being like in a movie, like in like a kaleidoscopic type weird thing where like you could push my hands out like that, and like I could see the shit run up my arms like that, and then kind of like go back down and shit, and then like touch something, and like it was weird. Like you push on something, and it would like kind of like flow with that. Hard to explain. Different than LSD though. I'd have to say that, I mean, I can't like, on that one experience, I can't really compare the two, but I'd have to say that this is something I'm definitely going to have to explore a lot more, because I really like the fact that it wore off after 10 minutes. If it was that intense, say like with LSD for like hours, it'd be way too much. I think it would be too much. I mean, again, you know, I'm just formulating an opinion now because it's only been, you know, that was the only first time that I really like, you know, was hardcore into it. So I got enough for at least one more time, maybe two. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to wait for the next day. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to keep doing it until it's gone. And then we get some more and do it again. But yeah, it was cool. Very cool. I'm a big fan. I was a fan before, but now I'm even a bigger fan now that I have the full effect. I'm not even sure if that's a full effect, but it was pretty cool. Next time, make sure, well, I'm going to, you know, and for people who are watching this, not that I'm giving you an advice, but what I'm going to do next time is, make sure I'm in a better place, that I'm not going to be paranoid, and next make sure that I'm probably going to have an assistant with me, because that last, I think if I would have done one more hit, that would have been the shit, but I couldn't, because I couldn't see my hands. I couldn't see the torch, and I don't know if I was even holding them anymore. To tell you the truth, I was like, whoa. So probably had a buddy help me out with that. But that's my experience. Now, we all know drugs are bad. Shouldn't do drugs. Don't do drugs. This is just my own personal experience, and it's for documentation and educational purposes.